technical aspect of her job and her career. Very well done, Tracy. And to evaluate Tracy this evening is Eddie.
Thank you, Ross. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Tracy's speech, her goal of her speech was, if you didn't know, her audience was medical providers and medical bills. In case you guess it. To summarize her speech, basically, the primary care providers are who they charge, and they want to make sure it's very accurate, and they have a very large flow of patients coming in, so to make sure everything's accurate, and it's very specific, detailed billing. So she did a very good job. Tracy, you're very knowledgeable, and you knew your material very well. Probably do this for a living, so you know exactly everything you said, and you spoke with a lot of conviction. You also had a very strong stance. You stood here very still, just like the very first speech. You have a very strong stance, and you have very good volume. I noticed that's another strength you have that's really good. As far as some things you could work on, during the speech you had your hands together a couple times. You'll see that in the video. And then at another point, when you got lost, we kind of saw a little bit you were frustrated, but the audience doesn't know that you got lost. So when you're giving a speech, you just have to play it cool, as if it meant to happen. So if you have to look at your notes, just take your time and look at your notes like you planned it. So everything you do, you planned it. You're the leader. You decided that you wanted to pause, you wanted to stop talking, you wanted to look away from the audience. You're in control. So when you have that conviction, it really sells your case. Another thing I noticed was that you had a lot of information. It was a technical speech, and I kind of got the sense that this was a 30-minute presentation. It could have gone on a long time. So I would say it was too much information. Maybe just shorten it. Have just a couple key points. One of the things in speaking is you want to say what you're going to say it, and then repeat what you just said. So you'll say a point like the primary care providers. Tell them what primary care provider is about, say it, and then repeat it in either the same way, or you can just repeat it in a different way. So just so the audience has time to absorb it. So just about giving the audience time to absorb what you said. A couple other things I noticed was that in the beginning you went right into a definition. There was so much conflict that I would maybe bring some of that conflict in the beginning so you could get the audience interest. I know we're not medical care providers, so we might not have the amount of interest, but I know when you give it to your colleagues and other medical care professionals, they're going to know exactly what you went through, and it will spark their interest right away. So I think that's a great way to get their interest. As far as making it more interesting, just change your volume and vocal time. And you could just throw in, when you're going back and forth, you could just, show your frustration. Instead of getting angry, just say, oh, wow. And then lastly, you could have definitely done this for manual 2 speech, because it's organizer speech. So I thought that you definitely get credit for that. Well, this was your second speech, and the title of the last speech is called Organizer Speech. Definitely. Okay, thank you.
Our third speech this evening was from Tim, who implored us to drop the pivot for the soft switch. And to evaluate Tim is Jason Peck.
Yep.
All right, here we go, Jason.
Yes, it's me. Hello again. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests, and especially you, Mr. Tim Wilson. I always love evaluating Tim because Tim is an extremely accomplished speaker, DTM. He continues learning beyond the Toastmasters manual, and I always go, yeah, I'll evaluate. And I'm like, oh man, why did I decide?